Maybe listen to him speak, yeah. No matter what, just let it go.
Perswayable. What's going on, boo-boos? I got a dad joke. You want to hear a dad joke? Well, it's kind of a mom joke. It's a weird mom-dad joke. You ready for this? I'm going to buy my mom a refrigerator. I can't wait to see her face light up when she opens it. It's so bad. Okay, laugh at that. Okay, so we're going to talk about Blood Queen. We've been doing a lot of analysis on her. So what you're watching is the number 4 Blood Queen over in China. Excellent player. Been reviewing their gameplay as well. This is what I usually do when I come up with a character. Not only do I play the character, not only do I try to master the character, but I'm also looking to see what other players are doing. Now, I'm not talking about the player on YouTube who tries to tell you that they're the number 1 hunter for a hunter that no one ever plays, right? Not trying to, call cats out. But it's important to not only look at your own play style, but to also do the research and look at what are other people doing, so long as they're willing to negotiate with you and tell you what they're doing. And so, Blood Queen, I'm going to show the one of the builds that one of the top Blood Queen players play. I'm going to do a more in-depth analysis of her in the future, but the real question is, do we think she's going to be S or A tier? Now, here's the problem. When we talk about Blood Queen, we've talked a lot about this on live feed, but I'd like to talk about it now and give information I've never given out before. So hopefully you will learn something from this video. First and foremost, we need to remember not to presume somebody's character tier list or character tier ranking right away. It's very difficult to do that. When Geisha was first released, Geisha was was the top hunter to go to for a long time, and by a long time I mean about a month or two, because nobody was really good at countering her. And then as time went, people got a little bit better at being able to counter her, and she kind of phased out on the mobile market. She's still, believe it or not, utilized on the computer market, and we'll talk about that in a video, in a different video other than this one. So when we look at Blood Queen, we see that she's really powered right now. We actually see that she's only been released for about 3 weeks on the Chinese server. Believe it or not, the top 100 Blood Queen users actually have a higher character point numbers than Axeboy and everybody ranked lower than him. That's ridiculous for a character that's only been out for 3 weeks. Now, that's kind of a double-edged sword. It either means that she's doing really good as a hunter and she's really top-notch, or it means, hey, survivors haven't figured out a way to counter her and you need to give her some time. See, again, the example that I provided was Geisha. When Geisha came out, everybody had a problem with her, and over time she kind of dissipated. But remember that sometimes hunters only get better with time. We've seen this with Mad Eyes. We've seen this with Dream Witch, right? A lot of those characters that first came out, they were okay. They weren't completely bottom of the barrel, but we thought that they were, they're all right. And now look at them. They're both S and A tier characters. So when we talk about Blood Queen, okay, and when we talk about her overall ranking, there is no way she's going to be lower than B tier. I don't think she'll be lower than B tier because she's already beaten the B tier numbers. She's already beaten the Axeboy's numbers. We see that, I believe, in the top 10, top 50, top 25, and top 100 of the most competitive market out there as of now. She can be really dangerous. She can be very dangerous. And the biggest thing with her is that her abilities help her across the entire match. As Maya said, she can apply pressure immediately when the match starts. She can camp the chair. She can attack ciphers far away late game. She's good because she can teleport back and forth between the gates. I mean, she could be a monster. And one of the things that I wanted to show you guys was not only how some of the top players are playing her and also show the build that I said I was going to play, but also provide some of those numbers. So I do think that she's ultimately going to end this season as S tier for sure. Next season is going to depend if she's nerfed. Really, the best way to figure this out is by probably the end of Season 8 or midway between Season 8. Now, one of the things that we also have to remember is that there are going to be a lot more people who are jumping on her because she's a new character, right? And that's a very good point. But I still think that she's going to be a pretty pretty relatively good character, and it's going to be interesting to see how people are going to learn how to counter her on a more consistent basis. And one of the things that I always say, I don't understand this, but I always see this. You always have that one person who's like, oh yeah, I kite her no problem. And it's like, well, who did you kite? Did you just kite like just one Blood Queen, and now you're going to say, oh, Blood Queens are bad? That's not how it works, boo-boo. But what we do know is that Lizard Man came out way before her, and the top 10 Blood Queens are actually, in terms of character points, only behind by 4 character points. We already see that the top 25 Blood Queen users are actually doing better than the top 25 Lizard Man. Same thing with the top 50, and actually almost 2,000 points higher actually over 2,000 points higher in the top 100. So we see that Blood Queen overall is doing better than Gamekeeper. She's doing better than Hell Ember. She's doing better than Lizard Man for the most part, and she's only been out for 3 weeks. We see that her overall average character points is probably around at least that C tier, working her way up towards that B tier, but she's definitely going to be higher than B tier because, again, Axe Boy's numbers, she does beat Axe Boy's numbers. Other than the top 10, she is beating Axe Boy in the top 25, top 50, top 100. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that we take the average amount of points of the character points for that individual character, and we look at who is winning in these higher tier matches. And that's why it's hard to do it on the US level, because the sample data is completely misconstrued. We don't have good sample data on the US server. So with that being said, Blood Queen, I really do think that she's going to be dangerous. Again, I think that at minimum she's going to be B tier. Does she have the potential to be S tier? Well, we have to give it a little bit of time. We have to figure out what is going to happen in regards to her overall strategy. I think that a lot of people are enjoying using her. I think that some people who have dismissed her already are not giving her enough time in order to really bona fide that strategy. And there's a lot of people who are really complaining about her, saying she's overpowered. And quite honestly, you know, I get the discussion about the survivors being overpowered once in a while. I mean, I just stuttered there. The compulsive need to be able to stun hunters, etc., etc. You know, this is why a lot of people do feel like we need more powerful hunters. But I am also going to do a analysis on that at a later time. This is just a basic video giving people my overall thoughts of Blood Queen and how she's probably going to be played. And I do think that she has a lot of destructive power. Again, just a conversation. I want you guys to tell me what your thoughts and feelings are on this matter. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. I love you all. Have a good night. Bye-bye now.